essayer d'y aller un peu quand même. Reprenons.
Detecting above normal radiation levels.
It's weird to think that if we pull this off, everything we're looking at could change.
I liked those pre-trip vision paintings of future Eos. Green fields, rivers, forests. Wonder what it'll really be like down the line.
Fewer death storms would be nice. Get ready to fight! Phoebe's tech looks like.
Approaching Site 2. Resilience.
It was sold as the one we get right, but it didn't have time to get worn down. Got wiped out by Ket. We'll deal with the Ket, one thing at a time.
Portable cover of Ket design.
Fought till the end. Very Turian.
Lexi, update records for Trinitas Gordanus.
Consider it done, Pathfinder.
Didn't even finish unpacking.
Ket didn't give him a chance.
Normalement, on doit se faire agresser d'un coup.
Looks like a war zone. According to survivors, the Ket attacked from all sides. It was a massacre. Lexi, I've got another one. Standing by, waiting for your scan.
Ouais, bah, moi aussi, tu l'as vu. Ouais.
Radiation levels have spiked, Pathfinder. Radiation levels within acceptable limits.
Y'all are Thysa. Records updated, Pathfinder.
Maybe we could push the cat back. With what army? Can you even find the safety on your pistol? I'm just going through the options. Evacuate or die. Those are the options.
Well, we know which one they chose.
Maybe we could push the cat back. With what army? Can you even find the safety on your pistol? I'm just going through the options. Evacuate or die. Those are the options.
Well, we know which one they chose.
Maybe we can push the cat back.
Well, we know.
You'd think there'd be more bodies. Not that I'm complaining.
Not a lot left behind for a massacre.
What if they were removed?
We know the Nexus didn't bother picking up the bodies.
You don't think it could have been the Ket?
Sure as hell hope not.
Override works, but... Sam, the door was sealed from the outside?
Yes, Pathfinder. It appears lockdown was manual before the power restrictions.
Why do that? It wouldn't keep anything out.
It would keep something in.
Secondary terminals. No access. Sam.
If deployment is standard, main access will be deeper in.
Way too quiet.
Looks like they left in a hurry.
They evac'd during a Ket attack. Most didn't make it.
Pathfinder, a maintenance bulletin was issued at the time of shutdown.
What does it say?
Run.
Fiend! Override, close it!
Tempest, we have an unknown enemy. Evac the Pathfinder.
Whoa, hold on.
No go, Harper. We have to lay low. Ken are inbound to your location.
Ket and that thing? Son of a...
Et ça va bien se passer.
Look sharp. That thing is out there.
And the Ket? Everything's grounded till they're gone.
Reinforcements! Watch out! Thane! Don't get close! That's the last from the dropship. The big thing is still standing.
Site 2 failed. Brazilian or not. Surprised the Nexus still wants an outpost on Eos.
You know what they say, third time's a charm. We'll make this right.
Heard the attack on Resilience was bad, but damn.
Initiative's not military. They weren't prepared for an ambush. Got a component for Site 2's project. Schematics for Special Project Sigma. They were building something, but there are parts missing. This must be the project they were salvaging at Site 1. A way to fight the Ket.
We could finish it.
All components at Site 2 had security tags, compiling detecting above normal radiation levels. Radiation levels normal.
Not shot. He was just pummeled to death. Well, we know what did this. The Ket have nasty pets. West, Porter M. Get that, Lexi?
Yes, Pathfinder. Records updated. Look out for anything big and hungry.
Resilience is more than a name. It's our duty now.
Think they'll ever try moving back in here?
Speed bump!
Peavy's tech looks like. This is where Chief Reynolds died.
Sandstorms would have buried the body long ago. I suggest scanning.
Karkins.
Pathfinder, there is an armor piece buried deep. A leg bracer. Scan indicates tissue and bone fragments clinging to it. DNA identified as Chief Reynolds. Indications suggest his body was torn to pieces.
So the Chief became carton food.
Circle of life can be gruesome.
The remaining armor will be scattered, or perhaps brought to a nest. The chest piece and his Omni tool may explain his death.
Then we keep searching and scanning.
Another armor piece. Chief Reynolds' helmet.
The search continues.
I'm not real romantic about road hazards. Interesting rocks are just as bad for the Nomad.
Water and weather. Nothing tougher in the long run.
Pathfinder. The scanners picked up Chief Reynolds' chest piece, confirming single shot. Unable to determine weapon type, but entry point was at the back. Exit blast through the chest.
By all accounts, Nilkin was in front of the Chief when he fired. So it wasn't his shot that killed him.
The Chief's Omni tool might shed some light. Pathfinder. This area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface. Pathfinder, the Remnant have altered the landscape ahead.
Let's do this! Whoops!
Picking up additional armor scraps. I believe it's a trail leading to a cave nearby.
Could be where the nest is located.
Je vais faire crever. Ça marche
Think
pas,
that's it.
je sors pas d'armes.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract mineral.
It's a Karkin nest, all right. Fan out.
Sinon, d'autres amateurs.
Confirming initiative equipment, including Omni tool assigned to Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. If you power it up, I can exhume its data. Accessing data. The Chief was scanning at the time of death. The scan picked up 2 shots. 1. A standard initiative rifle report, which missed. The other from behind, a Ket pulse weapon.
This proves Nilken is innocent. He didn't shoot Reynolds.
That's a relief. Good work.
Pathfinder, there is also an audio recording.
Go ahead and play it.
No!
Where's Nilken?
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock.
That sounds like...
Confirming. Voice identified as suspect, Nilken. So he did not kill the Chief.
But he meant to. Need another chat with the man.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ce qu'il y a?
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
I read your dossier.
Dossier, huh? Fancy. So, what's it say?
That's classified.
Uh-huh. Don't start something you can't finish, Harper.
Okay, look. Not starting anything.
Crash shuttle ahead. One of ours. I'd know them anywhere.
Worth checking, if only to make sure the Ket don't get to keep it.
All Site 2 components are accounted for.
Let's head to Site 2's research station and see what good they do.
Life support. Radiation levels have spiked, Pathfinder.
Ah merde.
Radiation within safe levels. Life support is stable.
Nice. Let's get to a research station, see what we've got.
Parts for the Site 2 project. Check.
Yeah, Andromeda. Complètement s'offrir un peu plus d'eau. Je sens que je vais le regretter. Mais on va faire avec. Just like that.
Another memory trigger?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Il faut trop faire le tour.
Detecting above normal radiation levels.
Enemies!
Mais non.
Cat ahead. They appear to be fighting a Krogan.
Is that... Drac?
Radiation levels normal.
Ryder, about time you joined the party. Think I made them angry. Good. That's it, kid. Keep it up. Good one. Color me impressed. Nice. Nice.
Watch out!
Ah bah non.
That fight was fun.
You're telling me.
You could really handle yourself, kid. And I hear you're the one to thank for clearing up the sky. Had your number all wrong.
You're not so bad yourself, old man. Maybe we should work together after all?
This fight was pretty good, but you're still Nexus and green as a Drell. Still, something tells me you've got potential. Be ashamed to waste that. I'm in. Just point me to your ship and try to keep up.
The first colonists sent audio logs about these regions back to the Nexus.
And?
Fairwinds Basin. Lowest radiation count in the area. Little bit of hope.
Maybe more than a little.
This is where we'll build our new outpost. A real beginning.
Prepping deployment order. You must choose what purpose this new outpost will serve.
The Nexus doesn't get a say?
Resources are at a crisis point. Protocol states this judgment call falls to the Pathfinder. With current supplies, you could build a military outpost, focusing on defense and militia training. Alternatively, a scientific outpost could advance the initiative's research and discoveries.
What do you think? Military outpost or scientific?
I say scientific. Aren't we here to explore?
I say military. There's too many threats out here.
Be advised that the first outpost placed by a Pathfinder will be a statement in itself. Fair or not, your choice will represent the initiative and its intentions in Andromeda. Consider carefully.
Prioritize research and discovery. That's our foundation. And our future.
Orders prepped. Ready on your signal.
Andromeda Initiative. This is Ryder. Pathfinder. EOS is ready for deployment.
Copy that. Outpost block inbound. And ready as hell. August Bradley, operational head for this block. Mayor now, I suppose. We're ready to make the most of what you delivered.
It took a lot of people to get us this far. That's the work you'll continue.
I hear that. Prodromos. That's what we're calling her.
They're eager. I haven't seen eager for months. EOS is far from golden. But now it's a producer. A real and reasonable first step. They think you did the impossible. The Nexus. I warned them, hoping was irresponsible. You proved me wrong, Pathfinder.
I appreciate your candor. We're all on the same side.
I wouldn't go that far. The Reality Rider? You brought us time. But one outpost on a long-shot planet won't stop us from starving. You already have a lead on something else?
The nav point. From the vault.
Now it gets complicated. The others are ready to officially sanction your efforts, to be a part of your success. We all want the initiative to succeed. But after failing for so long, no one agrees on how to do it. Be aware, that's all.
Don't worry. I majored in glad handing during Pathfinder training.
We're led by the best. Talk to Bradley. Later we'll go over the extended job of Pathfinder. Until then, Tan's waiting on the Nexus.
Pas eu la descente.
Someone left a warning. Looks like a work crew thinks they can take control of the remnant.
That's an incredibly bad idea.
Work crew rosters are posted publicly.
The datapad mentioned medbay. A little work, we could find where to catch up with them.
Really hope all those scientists will be safe out here.
We came to explore and learn. That's who we are.
Already getting requests from the Prodromos labs.
Sam, another memory prompt?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Mayor Bradley.
Pathfinder, good to see you. We're busy as anything, thanks to you. Bit dusty, but we can adapt. It's worth it when it's your own.
Let's not drive people too hard. Rough enough getting this far.
Nothing you see here came from cracking a whip. Everyone is just ready. You go do what you need to on the Nexus. Follow that dot. There will be more to do on EOS later. Some key positions: Connor Supply, Ramirez Medical, Abrams Science, Fawkes Engineering. With them and my major domo, we won't end up like Site 1 and 2.
The first two outposts didn't have a chance. It was clear to everyone on the ground.
I saw the brief. I'm making sure every one of our people is eyes wide. You changed this planet, but that doesn't make it easy. We'll use the efforts of those who went before. Good people, every last one. I'd have been honored to fail with any of them.
Looking back isn't a good use of time. We have to keep building.
Keep is generous. We have to start. Real building, not just survival. Oh, and Pathfinder, this is for you. It's our flag. Hang it where the Nexus can see. It's touched the soil of our first outpost in Andromeda. Make it real.
Pathfinder. I hear you're to thank for a physics-defying atmosphere processor.
That's me. I'm Ryder.
Haley Abrams, Director of Scientific Research on EOS, and writer of papers that start what the hell weather. But, new galaxy, new world, and a really new start. Gotta keep up. How can I help you?
What kind of research are you working on?
Your basic first in scientific work, soil, water, atmospherics, plus studying remnant tech, because now I need to understand that to survive here.
Activating that vault changed the planet. Anything to worry about?
Considering it's world-altering technology we've never encountered before, I hope not. But the storms show no signs of returning, and I know who to contact for remnant tech support. I'll take it.
What do you make of Lieutenant Bradley?
Determined as hell. And he has incredible faith in us to get this done. Bradley would carry this outpost on his back if he had to, and we'll make sure he never has to.
I've got to go.
Keep up the good work.
Pathfinder? Mind giving me your opinion on this? I'm planning classes for our first school, when we have one. Some say we shouldn't teach Milky Way history. All irrelevant now, apparently.
We were all shaped by that history. Our children deserve to know how and why.
Agreed. Maybe you'll change a few minds. Thanks for stopping. Ryder.
Any new supplies?
Pathfinder.
Izzy, you've got to stop listening to every rumor that comes in.
Okay, but when your shuttle gets eaten by space whales, don't say I didn't warn you.
Attends, les trucs. Ah non, c'est lui. Ah, putain, je suis con.
Any new supplies?
You haven't got a fuel cell, have you? The quartermaster says there's plenty, but she would. Wait. Oh, shit, you're the Pathfinder. Sorry, no one said VIPs were coming by.
I'm just Ryder. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I'm Fox, Chief Engineer at your service.
What do you think about your new home?
First impressions? We've got water, clear skies for solar power, plants to farm. The Remnant are a wild card, but I hear you almost have that solved, which is amazing. And you found us a good site here. I think EOS is really going to be special.
What do you do here?
My team gets things going. Water, power, communications, everything a civilization needs. Well, not laws or a constitution, but it's easier to concentrate on those when you got a flushing toilet.
What brought you all the way to Andromeda?
There's a colony back home you've never heard of. Viridis. It failed. Hard. I grew up there watching things fall apart. When I left, I got into infrastructure, civil engineering. Boring stuff unless you've ever lived without it. I wanted to do Viridis right, I guess. And the initiative was my best chance. Thanks for asking.
What are the other outpost staff like?
Like Connor, you mean? She's pretty fun when you get to know her. Just don't get to know her over a poker game. Trust me.
Bye, Fox.
Bye. Stay safe out there.
Work rosters. That datapad mentioned the name Jennings. Here, Axel Jennings, assigned to set up weather monitoring devices all over the desert. Too many locations to check them all. We need to narrow it down. This definitely treated wounds caused by a remnant. That datapad said the work crew tried to control them.
Sand particles were removed from the wound. Analyzing. Comparing with locations from the work roster, it's likely the injury occurred near a monolith.
Let's go.
August said you might swing by. Ryder, yes? Dr. Ramirez. Run the clinic here on EOS. Much better than life as an Alliance medic.
Good to meet you.
I'll guess you're not here for a checkup. How can I help you?
Why did you join the Andromeda Initiative?
I served in the Alliance as a medic, but let's say I saw one battalion slave rape too many. I knew August, Bradley, and when he signed on to the initiative, suggested I consider it. This seemed like a better frontier.
C'est lui. Comment vas-tu?
Ça va pas mal. J'ai passé une journée.
What's the latest from your clinic?
Usual checkups for first in colonies. Just a few cases of dehydration and some blindness.
Et j'en ai plus light.
Nothing serious.
Bah écoute, déjà si tu bosses le samedi, ça fait quand même une grosse semaine. Hein.
Oh bah je vais pas bosser plus que 1 ou 2 heures, mais j'étais censé être en congé en fait. Là, depuis
mais oui,
ce
en
matin.
plus, c'est pas ce que t'avais dit hier.
Bah si, c'est ça, c'est que... Là voilà, j'aurais dû être à Paris en train de manger des sushis dans un restaurant avec un ami à moi, mais non. Le destin en a décidé autrement.
Vous êtes obligé de faire livrer un sushi shop et de manger ça sur Skype.
Ah non, même pas, là j'ai mangé des lentilles avec des oignons grillés.
D'où la chanson des oignons.
Ah oui, celle-là aussi. Il va falloir que j'en rachète d'ailleurs demain. J'appréhende un petit peu l'étape course au supermarché de mon programme de la journée de demain, mais on va voir.
Ça dépend un peu de l'état de la région, mais il y a des endroits où ça se passe pas trop mal. Bon après le samedi, je pense qu'il y aura quand même plus de monde qu'en semaine.
Bah c'est ça, donc c'est pour ça que je vais essayer d'arriver à l'ouverture, voir un peu avant, voir ce que ça donne. Et puis si vraiment il y a trop de monde,
and we kept in touch after his discharge. He's a smart fellow, a good lieutenant, with a better mayor. And it bugs him when I call him August. So I restrict myself to 2-3 times a day.
Peut-être plus de chance sur les petites villes alentours, mais il faut pouvoir y aller quoi.
Ah ouais, bah...
What's it like living in our first successful outpost?
Je peux faire un rayon de quelques kilomètres avec mon vélo, mais pas beaucoup plus non plus.
Everyone matters.
J'ai pas de véhicule motorisé. Puis je pense pas que j'en aurai besoin non plus. Je suis pas complètement aux abois niveau provision, c'est juste que il va forcément falloir que je rachète du lait, des céréales.
C'est quand même un peu sympa d'avoir des produits frais quand même.
Ouais. Mais pour les produits frais, j'ai le marché. Il y a quand même vraiment moins de monde au marché. Même s'il faut faire un petit peu la queue, ça vaut le coup. Bon alors, Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda. Ça a l'air d'être pas mal orienté enquête là ce que tu fais.
C'est comment dire, c'est du RPG plus qu'autre chose. Disons t'as pas beaucoup à réfléchir. Mis à part un sudoku un peu chelou sur 2-3 trucs. C'est comment dire, c'est ton IA qui gère la majorité des trucs. Bon, après,
tu ouvres les blocs-notes, ça met à jour le journal et puis t'avances quoi.
C'est un peu ça. Après, comment dire, j'ai commencé vraiment Mass Effect au 2. J'ai bien saigné le 1 pour pouvoir jouer au 2, pour pouvoir jouer au 3. Après, je sais pas si tu as déjà joué ou pas du tout.
Non, je veux pas vraiment jouer à cette franchise. J'ai joué 10 minutes à Mass Effect 3 il y a presque 8 ans, je pense. Déjà.
Ça commence à remonter, mais...
Ouais, c'est ça.
Après, il y avait un peu le souci de... À la fin de Mass Effect 3, avait beaucoup déçu.
Oui, là-dessus, j'avais pas forcément d'avis, parce que j'avais pas connaissance suffisante du lore, de l'univers, de la narration.
C'est surtout qu'en fait... Je vais pas dire le principe de Mass Effect, mais une grosse partie, c'est les choix que tu fais qui ont des conséquences sur l'univers. Et en fait, quels que soient les choix que tu faisais dans les 3 Mass Effect, la fin était la même et tout ce que ça changeait suivant tes choix, c'était la couleur de la fin du jeu.
Ah, c'est fâcheux.
Bleu, rouge ou vert. Donc ça a été vécu un petit peu comme une trahison. Et, comment dire, la fin était un peu rushée. Donc ça avait pas trop plu. Après, ils ont fait un peu de DLC qui étoffait un peu le truc, etc. Mais ils ont quand même pris une énorme claque. Donc, ça va pas trop plus. Et comme vous avez bien dit que Mass Effect serait une trilogie et qu'on va pointer à un épisode spécial, enfin, un épisode en plus à la fin, qui prend un peu le même univers mais qui part complètement dans l'espace, vachement loin, il est un peu bâtard comme épisode. Mais j'aime bien le système de jeu, comment dire, un peu RPG, un peu FPS, un peu action. Je suis assez clean.
En tout cas, il a l'air vachement joli. Les environnements sont très sympas. Hein.
Il est vieux, hein.
Ouais, non mais moi, tu savais, mes standards de qualité graphique, pendant très très longtemps, j'ai pas joué à des jeux de moins de 10 ans. Donc...
pour avoir saigné un peu le dernier Tomb Raider il n'y a pas si longtemps que ça, tu vois quand même qu'on a fait des progrès.
Ah oui,
les animations sont un peu dégueulasses. Et si je joue avec le casque du perso, c'est parce que le visage... Bon,
mais typiquement, pas vu comme je joue quand même assez rarement à des jeux où il y a des visages, des animations de personnages à proximité. Moi qui suis plus un joueur de stratégie, je vois une grosse masse d'unités.
Ouais, bon. C'est le petit portrait à côté de la minimap qui bouge un peu, quoi.
C'est ça. Ce qui n'empêche pas d'ailleurs de jauger de la qualité graphique. Je suis gros joueur de Total War. Même si le plus récent auquel j'ai joué c'est Rome 2 qui date de 2013 je crois, je trouve qu'il y a un potentiel cinématographique qui est assez exceptionnel. Déjà, il y a moyen d'avoir des beaux environnements, des belles charges de cavalerie, des zooms, des ralentis. Il y a certaines batailles où je me suis fait des kiffs, à bouger la caméra en vitesse réduite, suivre le général.
Production by Michael Bay.
Alors, il n'y a pas trop d'explosions, mais il y a du carnage quand même. Hein.
Il y a quand même moyen de faire du ménage.
Avant la grosse mise à jour de 2019, il y avait une classe d'unité qui était complètement pétée. C'était les chars de guerre, les chars à faux. Et c'était stupide, mais ça battait quasiment tout. À part peut-être les éléphants. Mais ça moissonnait les unités d'infanterie à une vitesse, c'était ridicule. Et du coup, ils se sont pris un hard nerf après une mise à jour. Et bon, c'était pas plus mal parce que ça permettait de changer un peu le gameplay, quoi.
Ouais. C'est un peu dommage d'avoir filé une unité overpowered pour ensuite la mettre.
Bah oui, après c'est pas non plus les jeux où il y a beaucoup de multi de base. Donc, ça a pas été patché avant des années plus tard parce que bon, c'est pas non plus un enjeu énorme.
Juste pour que les matériels résistent un peu plus. Il n'y a pas forcément besoin de garder un équilibrage parfait du jeu.
Et puis bon, c'est quand même assez marrant. Moi, il se trouvait que j'ai fait ma première campagne avec l'Égypte ptolémaïque, qui en fait est quasiment un mode facile parce que
c'est le tutoriel.
Bah, pas vraiment. En plus, moi, vu que j'avais pas mal de bouteilles avec les Total War, j'ai commencé direct en difficile. Mais j'ai pas trouvé ça très difficile dans la mesure où c'est une faction qui a accès à peu près toutes les classes d'unités et toutes les meilleures unités dans chaque classe d'unité.
Ouais.
Donc en late game, ils sont quasi imbattables. Ils ont des chars justement, ils ont des piquiers, des brotteurs, des éléphants, de la cavalerie de choc. Ils ont tout en fait. Et même ils ont même des archers, je crois. Ils peuvent même avoir des archers. Et donc ah oui, il manque peut-être de cavalerie de tireurs montés, mais bon, c'est pas non plus.
Ça laisse déjà de quoi faire le ménage.
Exactement. Mais j'avais quand même bien profité de cette campagne. J'avais pris le temps d'envahir tout ce que je pouvais de l'Afrique, puis ensuite remonter par l'Espagne.
On visite.
C'est ça. Mais encore à cette époque-là, j'avais pas réalisé l'intérêt des piquiers dans ce jeu. Ça m'a pris, ouais, je pense, bien un an avant de comprendre comment on pouvait utiliser les piquiers de manière efficace en bataille.
Techniquement, tu t'en sers d'unité anti-cavalerie, mais après, je sais pas dans quelle mesure ils ont fait ça, implémenté ça.
Mais même en anti-infanterie, dans certaines situations, c'est très très efficace. Bon, en anti-cavalerie, c'est clair que c'est à peu près imbattable. Mais même pour lutter contre de l'infanterie lourde, en fait, je m'étais retrouvé à tester en partie rapide, c'est-à-dire hors d'une campagne, des match-up très très simples. Par exemple, je prenais 5 piquiers d'une classe donnée et je mettais 5 brotteurs d'une classe donnée ou d'une classe supérieure, et je me suis retrouvé à constater qu'il y avait des compositions où avec 6 ou 7 piquiers, mais vraiment de base, c'est-à-dire les unités enrôlées qui coûtent rien, il y avait de quoi contrer vraiment très très fort des unités d'infanterie lourde, typiquement les légionnaires romains surentraînés. Ils pouvaient presque jamais gagner contre des piquiers, même les plus mauvais. Et c'était un exemple parfait de l'armée low-tech, low-eco qui gagne.
Ouais.
Elle coûte rien, mais elle coûte certainement de trucs. Du coup, c'est à ce moment-là que je me suis lancé dans une campagne de Macédoine. Et j'ai effectivement longtemps joué avec les piquiers de base, mais qui sont juste trop puissants en fait. Donc,
si ça permet de contrer des unités plus puissantes, oui, c'est vrai que...
Ils sont rentables. C'est pas tant qu'ils sont puissants, mais c'est qu'ils sont rentables. Si t'as la patience de faire des plans de bataille où tu vas pouvoir tenir des positions défensives, t'es quasiment sûr que ça passe, quoi. Parce qu'ils ont une ténacité du fait de leur formation qui est excellente. Et en plus, je m'étais retrouvé à faire un certain nombre de batailles de part et d'autre d'une rivière. Donc, vu que ça devait passer par des gués ou des ponts, c'était une situation parfaite pour des piquiers qui se mettent en formation.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
You said your parents were gone, Cora. What happened?
Don't know. While I was away on training, their cargo freighter disappeared in the Attican Traverse. I looked for them every time I was posted that way. Nothing.
That's rough.
Not everything gets tied up in a bow.
Ah oui, effectivement, tu fais du tout-terrain.
Depuis Mass Effect 1, le tout-terrain est assez exotique.
Avec ton 6-6 turbo qui a des suspensions comme jamais.
Écoute, on est dans l'espace, on n'est pas sûr de la gravité, il y a des moments où il faut qu'on roule sur des trucs.
Ouais, clairement.
I think that's it.
Help us, please.
C'était sur un timer, je n'ai pas avec.
Ah oui, le timer. Et puis il a l'air assez court en plus. Parce que...
Oh, ça va.
C'est juste que t'as pris ton temps sur l'explo.
C'est juste que j'avais pas du tout vu qu'il y avait un timer, donc je suis en train de me balader.
Bon, effectivement, là je vois le côté FPS. Donc ça a l'air assez stylé.
C'est assez light. Hein.
Oui, relativement à des RPG un petit peu plus orientés tour par tour ou
on est plus sur de l'action.
Ouais, ça change un petit peu.
Ça fait très mal. Vache. C'est juste pour la classe.
Un but des méchants aliens.
Encore des amateurs ou... Non, a priori c'est bon. Je vais avant de parler aux survivants. Où sont les survivants? un survivant.
Peut-être un scarabée de l'espace.
Ouais, aussi. Il y a de la faune. Quand je te parle, tu me parles. Pourquoi tu te casses?
Tu es un PNJ, tu es à mon service.
J'irai peut-être pas jusque là, mais parle-moi en face, quoi. Je fais pas 5 mètres.
I have a super intelligent AI and enough experience with the Remnant to be careful.
Jennings, this isn't working. We tried.
Fine. But you can't protect us all the time, Pathfinder. Out here, we need every edge we can get.
Super. Où est-ce qu'il va être ce truc-là? Dans ta gueule, le scarabée. J'ai dit dans ta gueule de scarabée.
Tu vas détruire l'écosystème, arrête.
Ça va, ça pullule. Hein. Où est-ce qu'il est ce truc? Je te fais ça aussi. Ça, je n'ai pas de console à utiliser. Ça se débloque peut-être après. Tout à l'heure est parti beaucoup.
My census read a mineral not found in my database, Pathfinder.
That's something we can scan for Chief Lucan?
It would improve his geophysics VI considerably.
Ouais, et là on va complètement se faire destroy notre magnifique 4 qui se casse pas très vite.
Please seek safety. Life support is failing.
First outpost.
Et comme je suis loin de tout, ça va être compliqué. Oh, le fast travel fonctionne. Oh, on va en profiter.
Comme c'est commode.
Pas rayer la peinture de la caisse non plus. Bon bah ça on verra ça plus tard. Je pense que j'ai ramassé un peu tout ce que je pouvais faire facilement. Donc on va gentiment se casser. Ça marche. Extraction impossible.
Bon, moi je te dis bonne soirée, je vais me coucher.
Bonne soirée, repose-toi bien.
Merci, et joue bien, amuse-toi bien.
De toute façon, bon, une petite heure encore, et puis après on va se coucher.
Et à la prochaine.
Bah, je pense que je vais squatter ici beaucoup plus tard.
We knew Thomas would
Il y a
die.
le spécial Discord
All
demain
we
soir.
could do is watch it happen.
Ah oui, c'est déjà cette semaine.
Bah c'est...
Recovery's a
Je sais pas si t'as vu sur le
long-term
Discord, mais ils ont annoncé qu'ils feraient un live spécial demain soir.
Ouais. J'avais vu qu'il y avait eu le vote vendredi ou samedi, mais j'étais pas sûr que c'était...
En même temps, je crois qu'ils l'ont pas annoncé sur le Discord, ils ont dû l'annoncer sur Twitter.
Bon, je regarderai. Je me tiendrai au courant.
Au pire, on fera une annonce demain.
Allez, à plus.
Bonne soirée, ciao ciao.
Recording Initiative, Cryo Identification, E97 Durango. Chief Engineer, Grace Leto.
Last one out during the evac.
She took risks and they didn't work. But nothing worked.
Didn't want to go, but ran out of things to try.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Before the meeting gets started, I have bunk assignments for PB and Drac.
Already put my rucksack in the kitchen. I'll hang out there if that's okay.
And I'm in one of the escape pods. More my speed.
That's fantastic. Welcome aboard. Any thoughts, Ryder?
I don't care where anyone sleeps, as long as we realize what a kick-ass team we have. Let's talk about our success on Eos. Besides establishing our first viable outpost, we did some amazing things. We discovered the Remnant and breached their vault.
And didn't get killed.
Overcame radiation poisoning. A number of times.
And didn't die.
Confronted by Ket at every turn.
Once again, did not get killed.
You guys really need to raise the bar on what you call success.
Yeah, should we use the Krogan definition of success that got your homeworld nuked by your own people?
Fair enough.
Let's focus. Back to the task at hand. Looking forward.
Exactly. Here's my only question. When do we hit that next vault? It looked active. We have to get on that.
Hang on. We need to not go off half-cocked.
There are initiative priorities. The team calls the shots.
Actually, the Pathfinder calls the shots, just to be clear.
So what do you need from us, Ryder?
Let's be kind and give each other the benefit of the doubt. Finding a home for tens of thousands in this hellscape is stressful enough, without adding dysfunction.
You got it, boss.
If Krogan are known for one thing, it's getting along.
But not humility or self-awareness.
Okay, let's head back to the Nexus. PB, Drac, see Lexi for a physical? Good meeting, everyone.
Ryder, when you've got a minute, stop by the medbay.
Nice place you found.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
Your biotics always do that when you're maybe stressed?
I got it. I'm good. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
You were his second in command. Were you friends, too?
He was more a mentor than a friend. Prickly old bastard. But I respected that. People treat geniuses like they're made of cut glass. I didn't care how smart he was. I think he liked someone not caring.
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Thessia to serve with the Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
I know it's not the same, but I'm a good listener.
I hope you're as good at being Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way, and I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
You, me, side by side? I like the sound of that.
A commando friend said something like that once. I explained I wasn't into women, however admirable they might be.
So
I said I'd still take a bullet for her. We were a team. Look, there's still the mission. A lot of dreams to fulfill.
So what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here. Hi there.
What did you do while you were part of the Asari military?
4 years in a commando unit called Talane's Daughters. Part of the Council's cross-species military integration initiative. Your time defending Silva's expedition was probably more important. But we did good work. Peacekeeping is a full-time job, even in Asari space.
What was your commando unit like?
Janae and I were the youngsters. Tethys was our old lady sniper. Kalia patched us up, and Valenza prayed between firefights. Our CO, Nasira, led us all over the Athena Nebula and beyond. A huntress's work is never done.
Who'd pick a fight with the most powerful species in the galaxy?
Themselves, usually. Terrorists, cults, rogue Ardat Yakshi, people demanding a withdrawal from the Citadel. The Asari were spacefaring when our Roman Empire was new. Didn't fix all their problems. Sometimes you need commandos for that.
You were in the Alliance before you became a huntress, right? What made you join up?
My biotics. I was still living on my parents' cargo freighter when they manifested. Untrained biotic power on a starship means accidents. But we couldn't afford a tutor. The Alliance had implants, the training, everything. Old history now. Your turn. Remind me why you came to Andromeda.
The Prothean digs woke us up to how much we don't know, and to what humanity's next leap might be. Then Dad's career collapsed. His AI research made him too toxic.
I heard. Must have changed everything for your family.
We needed to start over somewhere new. Together. Or as together as we could. So, Andromeda.
None of you writers ever think small, do you?
Did you come out here with anyone? Maybe someone you served with?
I had my fun on shore leave. Nothing serious, though. Asari huntresses figure things out, but I was there for soldiering, not romance.
Does that mean fraternization is okay for Asari commandos?
It'll happen, but usually only for one deployment. Asari don't usually stay with each other long term. After your 500th birthday, you learn some self-control.
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
The Lucinia? Checking every comm that's coming in. Nothing concrete yet.
After 4 years with Asari commandos, he must have some great war stories.
Nasira assassinated a Krogan warlord with a pack of playing cards once.
A pack of cards?
Choking hazard, apparently.
Wow. Any more commando war stories?
Always liked Janae. She was only 200, and with me around, she wasn't the kid anymore. She was a biotic protege. I once saw her yank an AA gun right off its housing. Crushed a gang of slavers with it.
Ouch.
They didn't feel it for long. Janae was a good friend. Maybe she still is back there. Won't be a kid now, though.
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
Nothing new. Let's stay optimistic.
Any more commando war stories?
Not just now. I'll try to remember a good one.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
You're not Harry.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years in the Hyperion looking after your brother.
Happy to have you, Dr. DePero.
I'll do my best. Now, hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
I couldn't be in better hands.
I just stabbed you.
We all have off days.
I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a Ket specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here...
what?
A Ket corpse. For autopsy, a live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the Ket?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
I had no idea. I'd love to hear more. Over dinner, maybe?
Oh. Thing is, Ryder, you're not my type.
What's your type?
Not a patient. I need to be able to look at you clinically without distractions.
Am I distracting?
Not nearly as much as you think you are. But we were discussing the Ket. An autopsy could teach us potential weaknesses, average lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam, make sure the Pathfinder eats her vegetables.
Toi, je peux pas.
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality. Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files, and my brain by species.
Why do you sort them that way?
Just easier for me to see patterns in behavior.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor. She expected to follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you. Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused. Or hurt.
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique. He'd rather bury himself in the Nomad than tackle emotions head-on.
Suvi okay?
She's remarkably adaptive. I'm kind of jealous.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new. Liam's "we can't lose" attitude is commendable. But I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative. Could you look out for him, Ryder?
Don't worry, Lexi. I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you. And maybe don't mention I asked?
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people. That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
Is PB all right?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Not in the hallway.
Thanks for the insight. I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory. Things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel. From when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this. How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands. They put every credit they earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
Excuse-toi, ça se fait.
So how did an Asari doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
fine.
Right. Have you settled in yet?
Yeah, got all my stuff here.
And your repair kit, spare parts?
I carry that emergency kit you put together all the time.
Good. Good. I'll check in with you later.
Don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble. Oh, Rushan.
Who were you talking to?
Kesh, Nexus Superintendent, thinks she can boss me around just because she's my granddaughter.
Well, welcome to the Tempest. Trouble's what we do.
Ha! I like the way you think, kid.
Ugh. Someone somewhere shivered when I said that.
Probably Tan. Damn politicians.
Is that all you brought?
You travel lean when supplies are tight and you're on your own.
Leaving the Nexus can't have been an easy choice.
It was, actually. Staying became impossible. After the mutiny happened, it was either buckle under Tan's rules or start our own colony. Easy choice. Bad consequences all around.
Not all Krogan left. Your granddaughter stayed.
Good thing she did. Without my Rushan, you wouldn't have had much of a station to tie your ship to. As for me, I'm way more useful out here. Lots to shoot at, for one.
Your people come first.
Keeping Kesh and our colony safe will always be my top priority. That's why I'm happy to tag along, help make this galaxy a little more hospitable.
Can't argue with that.
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in Assistant Director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's headed out for Kesh ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
What's it like to have Kesh as a granddaughter?
Kesh is my Rushan, child of my blood. Raised her myself. Damn proud of her, too. She did good, even with me for a granddad.
She's honest. Definitely blunt.
She had to take after me in some ways, I guess.
Did Lexi brief you on Sam and squad connectivity yet?
Yeah. You want to hook that thing up to my comms, sure, but that's where it stops. Putting an AI in your head, giving it access to everything like that, it's begging for trouble.
Why do you say that?
I've seen what bots can do when they turn on their creators. Been in some of those fights. There's a reason that kind of research was outlawed.
Yeah, my peacekeeping career went up in smoke when news of what my dad was researching got out.
No shit. Ruined the Ryder name, I'll bet.
Almost. Sam is part of what makes someone a Pathfinder. You're just going to have to deal with that.
So long as it's not in my head and it ain't messing with my body.
I'd like to know more about you.
Fire away.
How did you and Vetra meet?
Huh, that's right. Your father brought you into the project pretty late, didn't he? Must have been a pretty steep learning curve since they thawed you out.
You could say that.
You make do with what you get. Anyway, I met Vetra back when we were building the Nexus. She swiped supplies I was trying to get for Kesh right under my nose. I tried to intimidate her into turning them over to me, and let me tell you, that Turian takes shit from no one.
She really has a way of getting things done.
She sure does. But here's the best part. She waited until I saw her again in Kesh's office, no less, to tell me she'd been working for Kesh all along. They're both still laughing at me over that.
Tell me more about the Krogan colony.
My clan's there. We also got some scouts looking for any unclaimed territory to grab up. Got a decent setup going. Self-sustainable. The works. Even some farming.
Farming? Krogan farm?
Food's food. Just because we can eat anything doesn't mean we gotta settle for scraps. I'm pretty fond of corcrow roots myself. Takes a while to chew through those.
So, about all this combat experience you have, I'd love some details.
Ha! The list will be shorter if you ask me what experience I don't have. I've been doing this for a long time now. Centuries. Shit, well over 1,000 years. Don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest.
Skill?
You need luck to be a merc. Skill, sure, but a whole lot of luck. And a really hard head.
Why did the Krogan leave the Nexus?
The Nexus got us Krogan to stop the mutiny. In return, we were supposed to get a say in station business. Spender, Addison's assistant, lied about the deal, and Tan came down hard. Too hard. So we left. Kesh is alone on that station now.
You think someone might try to hurt Kesh?
Oh, more like she airlocks Spender. Or he tries to stab her in the back, and then she airlocks him. Tan wouldn't listen to me when I told him Spender had a part in the mutiny. I had no proof.
So what's my part in this?
Things need to get sorted out, and my clan needs to get back on station, without Spender messing things up. Way I see it, you're probably the best one for that job.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pie jack scratch its butt?
Anything about the Ket? Or combat in general?
Well, common Ket are pretty straightforward. Hit them hard enough, they die like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Wraiths are sneaky little shits, like to ghost up behind you when you least expect it. Just listen for them. They tend to give themselves away right before coming at you. Break through their head plates, then a headshot should do the trick.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Destined are annoying. Quick. Got some crazy mist that hides them from view. They're friends, too. Take a Destined down, and that mist goes away. Makes them a prime target, if you ask me. Perfect for grenade practice.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
There's just something wrong about the Ket. The absolute single-mindedness.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
So, Chosen, it's not good to let too many of them get close to you at once. If they hit your shields, take a step back. Let me handle them. Bet you anything they're not used to being rushed by a Krogan.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fire and explosives are good against anything with heavy armor. Or anything, really. Generally, no one likes being set on fire.
Generally? There's a story behind this.
Ha, there sure is.
You mentioned that people generally don't like being set on fire.
I was hoping you'd ask. So, about 400 years ago, give or take a decade, me and my outfit were pinned down during a skirmish with another merc group. Saw it pull off my usual stunt, charge ahead and breach their barricade. Pop my flamethrower and get ready to let go. Only to see them all screaming and running away. Turns out, I crashed through a shipment of Turian brandy on my way in. Never even noticed I was on fire. But they sure did. Never seen a pack of mercs panic that badly before.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Ascendant. Keep your distance. Don't let them get you in those force fields. Pop that little orb, then shoot him in the head, just like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fiends, kid. Even I'm not gonna mess with those at close range. Keep your distance. Shoot them in the red fleshy bits, or I guess in the face if you can't flank them.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah?
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
I'm in the armory.
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Hope I'm not interrupting something important.
Not at all. We were just finishing up.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
I would have done the same just to get off the Nexus.
That's not why I came. Sure, I want to explore the galaxy, but I'm really here to work. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
Wow, that's some laser focus.
Yeah? Was it too much? Some people get intimidated.
I'm not just some people. I really like the intensity.
That's good. It's nice to feel appreciated. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later? Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving, and everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone. Bleh.
Point taken. I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
That just sounds like you're taking advantage of people.
Is it? I get people what they want, and they do want, or they wouldn't pay.
How did you hear of the Andromeda Initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
Have anyone else here with you? Besides Sid?
No, just me and Sid. It's always been just the two of us.
No, I mean, someone special.
Special? Oh. You mean like... Oh. No, nothing like that. Who has time? What about you?
Like you said, who has time?
Eventually things will settle down a bit. Hopefully. Or we'll be dead. Anyway.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Right. What?
Never mind. BS for the requisition. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy urban search terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded. Tastes better just thinking about those days.
I put it behind me after Dad's work went sour. It was a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
I was on a good path in the Alliance. Then everything fell apart. There wasn't much left for me. Andromeda was so far away, I figured if you're going to start over, start way over.
Gotcha. Clean slate. Classic.
Back at you, Costa. Why do you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story. But it's bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job, nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
We can't go back, but we're not trapped by decisions a galaxy behind us.
I don't feel trapped. We came from a good place for good reasons. We keep that in mind, it'll steer us right, just like back in Crisis Response. Remember the essentials. A new start guided by the Pathfinder. And team. I'll bust my tail to make that a good story. Prodromos. Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
You barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
You were a cop, then crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into Hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
An impatient rookie, frustrated by procedure. That's overdone.
I know, right? I wanted new, and I got it. And that led me here.
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin, both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Traditional is a weird term for family. Like, normal. Who's that describe?
I suppose you're right. I sure didn't keep the tradition. I said goodbye to my mom and dad, and got on a ship to Andromeda.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Pathfinder, making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Hey, this is the most important part of the ship.
Whoa, don't tell me they put someone smart in charge for a change. I am at your command.
Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked in idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the Initiative.
Seems like life back there was pretty bleak.
Not gonna lie, it sucked. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties, no real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
You mean how jazzed you were that a Pathfinder showed up?
Tomato, potato. You just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Long time no chat. What's up?
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly?
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call. Capital R ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Can't say I have.
Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction? Or maybe starvation? Imagining which would be worse? But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, Vetra and Suvi are my girls. Get along well, lots of mutual respect. PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting. And Drax's my kind of guy. Brash, takes no shit. As far as your Hyperion peeps go, Doc's kinda nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
Need somebody to keep the zoo in check.
Zoo? You calling me an animal rider? Ooh, can I be a mongoose? They're like cool cobra killers. No, wait, how about a crow? Smart, irreverent, obnoxious. That's it.
I'll take your word for it. What about Kello?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
He flies the ship.
We're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
We haven't really spoken since orientation, have we?
It's all been so hectic, but I'm sure things will quiet down soon. Can't be worse than the Nexus.
You're setting up in here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going through what we got out of that vault.
If I can crack this data storage box, it'll help with a personal project back on the Nexus. This is a nice, out-of-the-way place where I can tinker, and I can sleep anywhere. It's not exactly homey, but I like that about it. Not really looking for a home. Oh, but I will help you find everyone a home. While I'm with you, at least.
Should I consider you a temporary addition?
Everything's temporary, Ryder. I get it. You want to know who's on your ship, so you're here to figure out what makes me tick, right?
Something like that? Sure.
Well, I was born in a log cabin on rural Haitiana to simple but loving parents, just trying to... I look forward, not back, Ryder. Why snooze through my life story? Get to know me out in the field while we're uncovering the mysteries of this galaxy. That's why I'm here. Got tired of yawning back home.
Tackling complete strangers in the Milky Way wasn't doing it for you?
I think tackling you anywhere would be fun. Did I say that out loud? Life won't be boring with you around. I may never yawn again.
You left everything and everyone you knew because you were bored?
No. I came with someone I knew. Then she got bored with me. Ryder, the Milky Way was so... been there, done that. Even if I hadn't done it, someone had. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I live for the unknown. For the never been done.
Well, congratulate yourself. No one has ever so successfully dodged my attempts to get to know them.
Yes! I'm #1! Buy me a drink sometime. Who knows what will spill out of my mouth. Then again... I need remnant scrap. Remtech, I call it. For projects like the one I mentioned. Which you're gonna love, by the by. Promise to bring me what you scrounge, and I'll submit to all your questions.
Remtech, huh? You got it.
You again. Want to hear more about my childhood log cabin?
You really won't tell me what you're working on?
That's right. Next question.
What was it like for you on the Nexus?
Well, I wasn't supposed to be woken up yet. A resourceful accomplice finagled my early thaw. So I kind of lived off the grid. Snuck around, bullshitted my way onto excursions off station. After I found my first remnant ruin, I started, borrowing shuttles. After that, I didn't spend much time on the Nexus. I even missed most of the revolt.
What does someone have to do to get you to flirt with them?
Not much at all. But I get a little extra jolt when I'm matched wink for wink. So just be yourself and the flirts will flow.
You mentioned you came to Andromeda with someone.
Nothing gets by you. Guess that's why you're the Pathfinder. Just a friend. The one who woke me up early. But now she's not even that. It's better to venture into the unknown without restraints or entanglements, don't you think?
I don't know. Don't friends and loved ones make all the effort worthwhile?
I've always been self-motivated. Don't need much more than curiosity to drive me forward.
So, how do you like the team?
Interesting bunch. I get a good feeling from Vetra. Not your typical military-minded Turian. Liam seems a lively one. I expect he'll surprise me. Drek is, well, old. Wonder if he can still learn new tricks.
What about...
Gil smacks of complication. Might take some unraveling. Callow and Suvi seem busy. I hope they aren't all work, work, work. Who's left?
Well, there's...
Oh, right, Cora. What's her deal? Is she as prim and proper as she comes across?
She's exactly what she should be. Capable, reliable. She's a valuable part of my team.
Sure, sure. That comes across too.
There's also Lexi, our doctor. She's an Asari.
Oh, I'll get around to her. All in all, seems like a decent bunch.
What drew you to the Remnant?
Are you kidding? It's evidence of a sophisticated species no one knows anything about. It doesn't get more intriguing than that. There's so much to discover. I want to be the first to figure them out. And the tech, it's on a different scale. If we can appropriate it, who knows what advances we'll make.
You're off the hook, PB. Good luck with your project.
Thanks. Don't be a stranger.
about you stop by? You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
You mentioned something about helping design the Tempest?
Test pilot, mostly. Plunging through the Nemean abyss was almost a preparation for the Scourge. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right, after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Did you hear anything about the Ark back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Don't sweat it. We'll bring the Solarians home.
Of course we will. I just have to be patient, that's all. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time. What can I do for you?
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Her engine's based on the Ark's Odyssey drive, which got us through dark space. The core takes the static electricity it generates and stores it in capacitors. We basically make our own power supply. It took Serena and Tion weeks to get it working on a smaller ship. And a few electrical shocks.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Our aerospace engineer was Tianada Vasmore, a Quarian fellow, and absolutely fearless. Once, some Omega scrap dealer pulled the "we don't sell to Quarians" nonsense. Tion found a workaround.
What did he do?
He glued a memory foam to his environmental suit, then, during the negotiations, leaned against the drive core he wanted, very casual. It made a perfect mold of the components, and the scrap dealer was none the wiser.
Tell me something else about the ship.
The glass on board? It's actually a clear oxide and nanofiber compound. It bends rather than shattering.
How tough is it? We're only an arm's length away from hard vacuum.
Our testing involved 3 drunk Krogan with sledgehammers and a C-Sec battering ram. It's sturdy.
Tell me something else about the ship.
O'Connell, our systems designer, was running a power distribution model, how power moves through the ship. But he forgot to lock his terminal and we, added a few embellishments. For 2 days, poor O'Connell was convinced that turning on all the bathroom lights would overload the engine core.
Tell me something else about the ship.
I'm all out of stories for now. Sorry. You'll have to make some new ones.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it. Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Liam's quite fun. Not many humans have that kind of energy. I probably shouldn't have told him there are secret compartments in the armory, though. He's been looking all day.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Dr. Tapero seems nice, if quiet. It must be very different here, compared to the Hyperion. Fewer people in stasis shock.
Let's keep it that way. What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Given Drax's history with Solarians, it's probably better I just stay out of his way. Too bad. That grunion roast he makes smells delicious.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I like PB. But I really hope she doesn't lean on the escape pod's manual release by accident.
Is that easy to do?
It's an escape pod. If it's difficult to use, you're doing it wrong.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Vetra's very kind. She actually got hold of some dried seaweed snacks for me. Said I needed feeding up.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I don't talk to Cora much. She always seems so busy. There are things I'd like to ask her about your father, but it never seems like a good time.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Oh, if I gossip anymore, I'll get in trouble.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often. As if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist. As if the sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
You definitely have an interesting perspective on the interplay between faith and science. I'd really like to pick your brain on that sometime. Maybe over drinks? The Nexus?
I'd like that. Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
Non, on va parler maintenant.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Wild remnant parties? What else would you use it for?
Oh, Ryder, you're adorable.
I know. I take it you work closely with the Nexus science team?
I try to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't our tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space. A Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
FTL sensor. So a faster-than-light telescope? They could survey Andromeda as it was?
Not exactly, but it cut down the lag by enough. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
Did my dad know about this? Why didn't he tell me?
It's possible he didn't know. The Geth are isolationist and hostile. Using the info, even obtaining it in the first place, probably crossed a lot of boundaries.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist
convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist, an inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
I'm really glad you volunteered to join our crew, by the way.
I am too. New galaxy and all. I'm honored to be here.
You make science even better than it already is.
That's a strange compliment, but thank you.
I just like talking to you about science and other things. We should do it more, is what I'm saying.
I'd like that. Wonderful. Looking forward to it.